Was this a cute, wholesome movie or just another huge letdown? Let's talk about it. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Andrew's Movie Reviews. Today, or I guess last night, we watched Rental Family, the new movie that takes place in Japan. And because I'm a fucking anime-loving weeb, I thought I'd watch it. So, it has Brendan Fraser. You probably remember him as the guy from like every okay action movie back in the early 2000s, and then came back and won an Oscar for The Whale. So he's a cool dude, right? And I had I don't want to say high expectations, but I was excited for this film. Let's just say that. And I do obviously have some thoughts about it, and we'll talk about it in our quick review. So if you'd like to skip to this time, if you came from Tik Tok, feel free. But yeah, let's just jump into it real quick. Welcome back to another episode of Andrew's Movie Reviews. Today we watch Rental Family, a new movie, I guess, that I don't think anyone's really talked about, but it was on my radar. It was exciting, but basically it's Brendan Fraser, but in Japan. So if you don't know what a rental family is in Japan, I'm not making this up, that you can literally like rent people out for like services. And that's kind of what this movie was about. And I will say, it was cute, it was wholesome, and it was a good watch, especially after the fucking week I've had. It was a good watch. But it wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't anything insane. I did feel like it dragged on for a little bit. Not like horribly. Like it kept me entertained like 90% of the time, but it did feel like it dragged on a little bit. But let's just say this. Brendan Fraser has become really good at just like looking like he's lonely. I don't know how to describe it. And I've also never watched The Whale, but from the vibes I get from it, he's very good at just seeming sad and lonely. And like that's kind of perfect for what he needed to do for this film. Because I'm not saying this film is like depressing. Like there's some sad moments, don't get me wrong, but like there's definitely, you can definitely understand how he feels just by how he looks. Does that make sense? Maybe only if you watch the film, but I think the acting in this film is really good. My only, I don't want to call this a gripe, but let's just say there's sometimes when the Japanese characters try to speak English, and like it's good, but sometimes it like blurs a little bit too much and I don't really fully understand what they're saying. So watch this movie if you can with subtitles. I think that would help. But that's only like 20% of the 20% of the time, 80% of the time, it's fine, right? But I really liked, I don't know if he had to learn Japanese for this or if he already learned Japanese for it, or like if he knew beforehand, I mean, but I liked the part where he spoke Japanese. I liked, like it felt like what real dialogue between a Japanese person and an American person would be in Japan, like a mix of both Japanese and English, because obviously both are, well, for Japan at least, they all know a lot of English, I'd assume. Again, I don't fucking live there. But, I don't know, overall, it's just a wholesome, nice little film. If you need a nice little wholesome film and you like Japan stuff, give it a watch. I don't think it's anything crazy, but I think it's a good watch for if you need something to watch. For that reason, nothing too crazy, but I think like a 7.4, 7.5 is a good fit for it. But if you watched it, what did you guys think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? And as always, have a fantastic rest of your day. Please subscribe and go watch some movies. Goodbye. So yeah, there's not really a lot to talk about with this film. It's nothing like, how do I explain it? It's nothing to write home about. It's nothing crazy, like I said, but it's a good, solid watch, right? It's nothing that's gonna like win an Oscar, nothing that's gonna like blow anyone away, but for what it is, it's good, right? That's the best way I can describe it. Like I said, I like the acting in it, and Brendan Fraser, like, I mean, there were some parts where like I felt like his performance wasn't the best, but like I said, I feel like he was a perfect fit for this role. Just like sad, random, lonely guy. Like he went from like a, can I say sex symbol? I don't think he was. Again, I was like fucking 4 when his movies came out, like The Mummy and all that. But I felt like he was like a heartthrob, is that the word for it back in the day? And now he's just like some guy. You know what I mean? But like for what the movie required, being some guy was like a perfect fit for him, if that makes sense. And a lot of the actors from like the Japanese side, like I recognize some of them from watching stuff like Shogun or like one of my favorite movies, Last Samurai. I feel like I don't know if he was in Last Samurai, but I feel like he was in the Shogun somewhere. But yeah, the acting on that side was pretty good. Their English was actually really good, the main character cast. And yeah, everything was just solid. I really liked, I don't know how to describe this, but I feel like a lot of American-made movies that focus on Japan, like glorify Japan. I don't I'm not saying Japan's a horrible place, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying, like, I felt like this movie was a more realistic depiction of what Japan is, if that makes sense, especially like how their social norms are, social pressures, stuff like that. I feel like it did a good job of, I don't say focusing on that, but having that be like, having it be realistic, I guess, would make the best way, or would be the best way to say that. But yeah, story itself, like, it was a well-written story. Again, maybe a little bit too long, maybe a little too, I don't want to say blown out, what's the word? Too drawn out, the plot maybe. Nothing crazy, like I said, but a little bit, right? But everything, like, you could, like, watch it and then be like, oh, they're going to call back to this. Oh, they're going to call back to that. And I felt like it was a really nice, closed structure of a story. That was pretty good. But again, I'm going to say it again, nothing crazy, but still good. Right? And but there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes just watching a solid film is all someone really needs. So yeah, I think the best way I could recommend it is if you like Japan stuff, like Bullet Train, one of my favorite movies from the past couple of years. I literally only watched that because it's from Japan, but it was a great movie. So if you like that kind of vibe, well, not Bullet Train vibe. Bullet Train's an action movie, but this is, if you like Japanese vibes, I guess, this is a film for you. But yeah, spoiler-wise, I don't think there's anything too crazy to talk about. So spoilers if you haven't watched the movie yet. I think the biggest thing I want to touch on is the part where, like, he has to get rented out to, like, to be the girl's dad, right? The main plot story. I thought it was funny to me how the mom got upset with him for trying to be the dad, but like a little too far maybe is what they're trying to say. But like, I also, like, it was like her idea. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting mad at him for doing the job you hired him to do. And maybe, yeah, you could say you got a little too emotionally attached, but like, you wanted to play a dad. Like, what, like, a dad gets emotionally attached to his daughter. I don't know. It was just funny to me to see why she got mad. It's like, that's what you fucking paid him to do. But yeah, all the other ones are pretty cool. I felt like some of the storylines were kind of open-ended. Like the video game guy, the really lonely guy. Like, the last time I feel like we saw him was when he got left at the I don't want to say a strip club, but basically a strip club, right? And I felt like we never heard from him again. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, it was wholesome. It was cute. I don't think there's anything else I really talk about. It's just one of those films. Just watch it, enjoy it, feel the vibes, and then maybe one day you'll come back to it again. I don't think I will. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, 7.5. And then next, I think we're going to watch Sisu, which I know nothing about, but it's one of those, like, stupid action films, and it takes place in World War II. And like Japan, if it's a World War II movie, I am more than likely to watch it. So we'll watch that. I have to watch the first one, I think. Maybe I'll double check, but if I do, that's fine. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna watch Wicked. I don't know. I'm not really into that kind of thing, so I might not watch it, but if I do, I'll make a review on it, obviously. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Go subscribe, and please watch some movies. That was completely backwards. Whatever. Goodbye.